Hey guys, Pat here from Brain Country. God is good all the time, even to us knuckleheads. So the other day, a little while back, I was pulling something out of the shop over here. I believe it was one of those tanks. And the excavator, I ran over this guy. This is a drawer guide, or a door guide for these large sliding doors for the hangar. They got two doors and 40 feet wide for the, it's just designed for planes. So they're nice wide doors that swing open, barn style doors. So the reason for the door guides are to guide the door, to keep it from flopping back and forth in the wind. Also adds security to the door. So anyway, what had happened is this was hilty anchored into the floor like this. So it'd be more like this. And I ran over it with the excavator. Obviously this is backfilled. So incidentally, this shape is the way it's supposed to be, but before I straightened it in the press, this part here was bent out, and then this right here was folded at about maybe a 45-degree angle. So I took this and straightened it out in the press, and it's ready to install again. And that's going to go down here back into the concrete. So this actual guide used to sit right here, but it was loose inside these two fittings. It was just rattling around. So what I did is I just moved it over to this area, drilled new holes into the concrete, and put hilty anchors at the bottom and set it in place. But incidentally, I ran over it with the excavator and folded this over. So I just come back from the shop at the house and straighten it up. And so now I'm ready to install it again. And I had a little bit of concrete left over from this job here. I just did this a couple of days ago. So this here is a result of, I don't know, this is not something that I did. This is something that I did. But when I put gravel down here, there used to be 3 runners, concrete runners that ran out, one in the center and then 2 on the edges for an aircraft to run in and out of here. Well, those concrete runners were all busted up and sinking out of sight and just garbage. So I tore them out and just gravelled this, and they were actually connected to this. This is actually broke off. So I just finished this out the day before yesterday. And yes, the Cody dog, he had to walk across it just like he's doing now, and got his little footprints all over it. So I had to clean them back up again. And then I had to watch the dog, make sure he didn't walk over it again. It was still wet, it was no big deal, so I just smoothed them back over. So anyway, today I want to finish this out. I want to go ahead and chip this out of here. There's another crack here, but I'm not going to worry about it. It is what it is. I mean, this isn't incredibly bad, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave this piece, this crack here. But I really should replace this piece because it's kind of loose. I can't move it by hand, but you can see where it just needs to be dug up and redone. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll get this piece out of here. I had a little bit of concrete left over from this last job, and I'm not sure. I don't think I have enough. I might have to get another bag. If nothing else, I had to run and get another bag to finish out that last little job I just showed you. So I might just go ahead and go down and get another bag of concrete just to have on hand. I might use a half a bag. This might be like a third of a bag. So I think I need just a little bit more for this. I'm going to dig it a little bit deeper, and I'm going to undermine the existing slab here so it pours underneath this and kind of helps give it a little bit more mass. Again, I want to dig this down just a little bit and make this a little deeper so I have a little bit more mass for this concrete patch. Clean this up, rinse this off, dig this a little deeper, and just go get another bag of concrete and just be on the safe side. I might even dig it deep enough to where I can use at least a full bag in there. I like using clam shovels for a lot of this kind of stuff. You don't have to stick your foot on it, and it gets in a little narrow area. Pretty good for digging. I use clam shovels for quite a few projects. It works good because you just push with your hands and it has pretty good digging action. So I like using this quite a bit. And obviously, sometimes you got to use a pick and different things for a little heavier duty work. But I'm going to undermine that some so it has a little bit more bite. Hopefully it'll hold together better. When I fill this in with concrete, I'm going to tamp it and hopefully agitate and shake the fresh concrete in there to where it fills the void in there. So that's what the theory is anyway. I know there's anchors and different things that a guy can incorporate this. He could drill anchors in here and put rebar and stuff, but I'm not going to get too technical with this. I just want all the loose material out and all the compacted material can stay in place. My idea is if I have a little bit more mass for this concrete piece, maybe 5 or 6 inches opposed to 4 inches or 3 inches or whatever that is, then it'll be less likely to separate from the old piece. I'm doing a big no-no here. I used this for concrete the other day for a flooring board, and I'm about ready to put a fairly new blade on here, so I'm going to clean this off. Cut that at 2 feet. I'm pretty sure I don't have enough concrete to make that happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run to the store, get some concrete, be right back. Well, back from the store. That was fast, huh? Anyway, so what I'll do is I'll mix up this partial bag first. Then I have the bag in the back of the truck just in case I run out. So we got a little bit of water, wheelbarrow, and my beloved clam shovel. And I'll go ahead and start mixing this little batch here. Now before I open up that other bag, I'll mix this up and see how far it goes, which I might fill half the hole with this, I'm guessing. If I can throw it up against side of the wheelbarrow like that, slumps down like that, that's pretty close. That's just a little bit more runny than I typically mix it. But I also want to get that right in that, I want to tamp it down and make sure that it gets up against those voids on the old concrete. That's a little bit more wet than I was hoping for. We'll just add just a little bit more, and that should thicken it up just enough. And I got my inspector over here, making sure that I'm doing it correctly. Mr. Cody Biscotti. Some guys will let this, they'll just drop it in the hole and work out the excess air and let it set for a little while and then come back and work it. But I want to insert this, guide, so I'm not going to wait. And off camera I threw a little paint at this to cover up where it was, paint had cracked where it had bent. Okay, we'll let that sit for a little bit, and then I'll come back and maybe rework this a little. My big deal right now is to try to get all the little pebbles out of the edge, so there's a nice smooth transition. Okay, we'll come back in here in a little bit, maybe 15 minutes or so, and take another look at it. So now I'm done. I went ahead and cleaned up all my tools. There's nothing like finding chunks of concrete on your old trowels and different things after you get done with a concrete job, and you want to come back and reuse them again. And then they end up having concrete all over them. It's a lot easier to clean the concrete off when it's wet or green. So anyway, let's go over here and check out the job, see how well it's done, and maybe clean it up a little bit if I need to. Okay, that looks pretty smooth. This side here's a little rough. Well, overall, I just think I'll let that sit. I'm pretty happy with that. Not happy that I ran over this thing, but happy that this is done. Well, thanks for joining me today on my little project. Thanks for stopping by. Take care, and God bless.